The wind howls like a hungry animal in the dark. Rain comes down sideways, hitting your face like tiny cold stones. Your little boat feels like a toy in a bathtub, tossed by waves that look like moving mountains. Every creak of the wood makes your heart jump. You feel small. You feel helpless. Fear is a cold blanket that wraps around you, making it hard to breathe. We have all been in a storm like this. Maybe not on a real sea, but in our hearts. The storm of a doctor's bad report. The storm of an empty bank account. The storm of a broken friendship. In these moments, the waves of worry crash over us. Imagine the scene. It is the fourth watch of the night, that strange, dark time just before the dawn. The disciples are exhausted, their eyes straining to see through the rain and the spray. Suddenly, one of them points a trembling finger. A figure is moving toward them. It is walking on top of the churning, angry water. It glows faintly in the gloom. What could it be? Their tired minds, already filled with fear, jumped to the only conclusion that made sense to them. It was a ghost. A new terror was added to their already full hearts. They cried out, their shouts of fear barely heard over the roar of the wind and the crashing of the waves. But then a voice cut through the noise. It was a voice they knew. It was a voice they loved.
Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid.
The disciples were not bad people for being afraid. They were human. Fear is a natural response when we face things that are bigger than we are. The problem is not that they felt fear. The problem is what happens when we focus only on the source of our fear. The more they focused on the storm, the bigger the storm became in their minds. The bigger the storm became, the smaller their hope became. This is exactly what happens to us. We stare at the bill, think about it all day, and it grows into an unbeatable giant. We forget about his promises. Jesus offered them a different place to put their focus. Take heart, it is I. Instead of the size of the waves, focus on the size of your God. He created the seas and the winds. What you choose to focus on will determine whether fear or faith fills your heart. In that boat full of frightened men, one of them did something astonishing. Peter called out, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And Jesus gave him the one word he needed, "Come." He put his foot down, not on solid wood, but on the shifting liquid surface of a stormy sea. And for a moment, the impossible happened. He stood. He took a step. He was walking on water. But then he saw the wind, remembered the waves, and fear rushed back in. The moment his focus shifted, his faith faltered. The very water that held him up was now pulling him under. We take a bold step, then we see the risks, the criticism, the cost, and we begin to sink. Sinking is not a sign that God has failed. It is a sign that we have taken our eyes off of him. As the cold water of the Sea of Galilee began to close over Peter's head, he did the smartest thing anyone can do when they are sinking. He cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him. Immediately. No delay. No hesitation. The very instant Peter cried for help, the hand of the Savior was there.
While still holding on to him, Jesus said, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?"
It was not an angry accusation, but a loving correction. You were doing it, Peter. The doubt made you sink. And the promise is the same. He will immediately reach out his hand. His grace is bigger than your doubt. His grip is stronger than the waves. He will pull you up, then teach you, so you grow stronger for the next step. Once Jesus had hold of Peter, together they got back into the boat. The very moment Jesus stepped into the vessel, the wind ceased. The storm was over. He didn't have to shout at the wind or command the waves. His presence brought peace. They fell to their knees and worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." No mere man walks on water. No mere prophet silences a storm with his presence. The storm had a purpose. It moved them from simply following to truly worshiping him as the divine Son of God. Our struggles, when we invite Jesus into them, can lead us to our knees in worship. Truly, You are the Son of God. This story from long ago is not just a story, it is a promise for you today, Monday, December 15th, 2025. Maybe your storm is financial. Jesus says to you, "Take heart, it is I." He is the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Trust Him. Step out. Make a budget. Seek wise counsel. Be generous even when it's hard. Perhaps your storm is health. Trust Him. Step out. Follow your doctor's advice. Pray for healing. Thank God for each day. Maybe it's work or family. Trust Him. Step out. Be first to apologize. Seek reconciliation. Work with integrity. If you start to sink into worry, anger, or bitterness, cry out, "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out His hand and caught him. "You have little faith," He said. "Why did you doubt?" Matthew 14:31. What storm in your life is God calling you to face with faith today?